Well, ladies, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for round two. Once again, joined by Geimer. Thank you for waiting, Geimer.
No worries, I was just enjoying the beautiful map.
We're back on Hanamura. It's obviously been out of the map pool, I guess, competitively for a while now. But it's good to be back, and obviously with the new competitive settings, we're able to play on it again, really.
Yeah, the new competitive mode with the scoring and everything, making it possible. And I've had a number of people saying to me that they think it's going to be included in most tournaments going forward. So it's definitely a map you want to be learning. I haven't casted a whole lot on it because as you mentioned, it wasn't in the competitive map pool, but it's a good one for me to learn as well.
So we have Team Silver versus Team Switch. Team Switch will be attacking first. Both teams actually won in the first round, so we got both the winners already underway. And as you can see on the defensive side, Silver's team, they've got that Mei, probably expecting to see something similar to what we saw in Icongold, with the, putting the Mei wall up and trying to catch someone who comes through.
Yeah, my worry is the Genji on the offensive team doesn't have to come through that main choke.
And a couple of them don't actually, because they're all going through the window, although the Winston did fail it. They're all going to get through as the Mei wall comes up and will stop Amarez, the Zenyatta, at least in the back line. Beck Quazzle, here he goes down to Silver. This is a good start for Silver, at least trying to swing that hammer. He gets a double kill. Plonk taking down Amarez as he finally came through the door. Silver ends up with a triple kill. He does fall down to Kurino, but he did most of his job there as the tank.
Yeah, definitely getting quite a few kills. The other one doing the job was the Mei, freezing person after person, which was a major contributor to the amount of picks which the defensive team were getting. And them all coming through that top window was a really smart counter to the Mei strategy, but they just didn't execute well enough.
And they wouldn't have even known, obviously, that the Mei strategy was going to be, in effect. I think what Zan needs to do now is be wary about that top window and probably sit up on top of the balcony and be able to place the ball either the main gate or that window. At the moment, he's kind of still standing on the bottom, waiting for the main door. They're all gone behind him. Although he's actually somehow done a 180 with the wall, trapped a couple of them as USMC took down Ted the Pleb. Silver's going to be able to take down Switch's Plonk. He's going to pop his ultimate on the Roadhog as there's two still in the backline, Plasma Pop and Kurino. And the Lucio and Diva are going to get through, but can't see them surviving this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them just kind of build some room for their teammates who are coming in.
Well, their ultimate's come out from Zan just to try and get Kurino down a bit quicker. That could be a bit of a wasted ultimate as the red team is starting to come back. Head the Bled popping that deflection on the Genji as Switch took down Battle Pants. There's a couple of kills now for the offensive team. That ultimate from the Mei would have been very much handy right now as the red team, Switch's team has taken it.
Yeah, what the two players going around the side did is they brought the entire defensive team back to the point, which allowed all the respawning players from the failed push to just come straight on through. And the early Mei ult, as you mentioned, potentially a bit wasted, because if it had been saved for the Genji, could have really hampered his ability to kill people using his Dragonblade.
Yeah, definitely a little bit wasted, although I'm not sure how much it would have stopped there as the rest of his team was dying. I guess quite early before the even real fight on the point. As he said, due to the fact that Lucio and the Diva really saved a lot of time and was able to stay alive long enough that when the rest of the team came, they were still going to be a little bit effective. Ted the Pleb dying early here as the red team are rushing up the stairs, but they've lost their tank as well now. Silver's just going to pop the Earth Shatter and see how many he can get. He's just counting as Zan gets the double kill on the Junkrat. That's to be expected in that tight corridor, and that's a very good stop on that first push.
Yeah, that right side push is very effective for the attacking team unless the defenders are holding up there. And with that Junkrat just spamming those tight corridors, it's very hard to get past, even with the Reinhardt Diva combo, which is the best combo against spam. But now they know that the Junkrat's sitting up there. They can try and come through the middle, which it appears they will.
And they will do it now, though. The defensive team and Silver's team have got quite a few ultimates available, but Switch took down Plonk rather early. It's a nice little pickup, but Silver, he took down Kurino, so the Diva is down. As Zan gets another double kill. It was a brilliant Riptire on the point, and they're going to be able to stop the second push pretty easily here. And they still have the revive, they still have the Earth Shatter. This is a good defensive hold so far from Silver's team.
Yeah, and once again we're seeing the Junkrat be so effective. We saw it be very effective on Eichenwald, and now we're seeing it be so strong here. That Riptire, if it's not shot out of the air, will get 2 kills almost consistently, if not more. And so they're really going to have to kill the Junkrat early if they want that to not be a problem.
Coming straight in again through the main door, but Silver says no, you're going back the way you came. He took down Cosmo really early. Amaris in a tough spot, but he took down Silver thanks to the Discord help as Kurino flies back in, trying to take down Plonk Plonk, but nicely done by USMC. He took down Plasma Puff as Ted the Pleb able to take down Zen in the back line. Switch taking down Battle Pants, the flankers doing their job, and it was a nice revive there by Cobble Guy. USMC taking down Amaris, but the flankers for Switch's team still getting those kills. Kurino taking down Plonk Plonk, but there's really not a whole lot of threat for the point. It's just a bit of a skirmish.
Yeah, but respawning players will be coming in as now Quazzle has
Oh, and that Diva Ultimate's coming out. Silver had to place the shield up. That's going to take a lot of damage as Kurino gets that mech back. That almost got to 2 pips there thanks to Quazzle coming back on the Reinhardt. He gets stunned. He's got the Discord on him. And USMC pop the high noon, get a couple of kills. He can. He took down Plasma Puff. And thanks to Battle Pants' Discord, they get the damage as Kurino is going to try and fly away here. But not before switching and take down USMC. He's been an absolute menace on that Tracer. But really, the main objective is getting this point. They're getting some kills, Switch's team, but they're just not looking really like they're getting enough stronghold to capture the point entirely.
Yeah, and part of the issue is Cobble Guy keeps on resurrecting the defensive players that they do end up killing, and if they're going to get picked off late like that Genji pick, the attacking team's really going to have a tough time setting a fast time. This is time bank. So you do want some time left in your bank. Not a whole lot left though, so they're going to be wanting to capture this point rather quickly.
Yeah, they started really, really well on that first point. Obviously having the nice strategy to go through the window, and although it didn't, I guess, happen on the very first push, it was about the second or third push they really got through. So that's about standard on Hanamura, maybe even a little bit better than standard. But the second point, it can be difficult to cap, but you can see so many times, though, all it takes is just one push. Sometimes it even happens immediately after you get that first point. So as you said before, you want to have that time bank in there in case the blue team, if they get that first point and they get the second point, but here come the red team as they're about to take the point, and hopefully in a stealth bar, he pops the Earth Shatter, he gets 1-2, he charges Amaros, but Amaros is going to pop his ultimate and keep himself alive. USMC took down Ted the Pleb, who's now onto the McCree instead of the Genji, so no more Genji to worry about. USMC taking down Amaros rather nicely on the point. That's all kills going for the blue team. Silver's team cleaning up nicely, only Plonk Plonk going down, and they've still got the revive, they've still got the Zenyatta ultimate, they've got all their ultimates still up. But Switch's team, they used quite a bit there and got nothing for it.
Yeah, they're just not really doing a good enough job of killing DPS players specifically. When you leave those DPS players like USMC's Kree, who's been doing a lot of work just consistently outputting damage, when you leave them alive, your players will just fall one by one. And if you spend your time trying to take down tanks, you're going to have a tough time.
And Zan is just, this is probably not the right way to go for the red team. You got that Junkrat, they're going to cause so much damage as the Riptide's going to come around. Can we follow this? Will it get a couple of kills? Only taking down Switch, who ironically has switched over to Reaper now. So they're definitely trying to change some heroes. We saw obviously Ted the Pleb, he's now onto the McCree rather than the Genji. So at the very least, they're actually trying some different things, but with 45 seconds to go, you've got to have that consistency to keep going at it. They did get one hit onto the point, they looked close a couple of times. But they're in a really tricky spot now. All it will take is probably one revive from Cobble Guy. They're going to need to get the Mercy and get a full wipe.
Yeah, and they need to do it fast.
They're pushing in now, but the Earth Shatter from Silver. He's taking down Ted the Pleb. There goes the DPS. The Diva Ultimate's going to follow away all the way down to the hole. But Silver, he pops the shield up, keeping his team alive. I don't think it would have got many anyway. And this is just disastrous for Switch's team. They are just getting wiped left, right, and center. As Zen is just destroying them with his Junkrat bombs. He's trying to take down Plasma Puff. The revive, well, you might as well bring it out with 6 seconds to go. No one's on the point. I think Kurino, outside of the Diva mech, is going to try and get on it to force the overtime issue, but this is just saving face, I guess, a little bit. The ultimate tire from Zen in the face of Ted the Pleb, who's popping that high noon, and this one is over. 1 point for Switch.
Yeah, that second point I find very hard to take. In my personal experience, maybe that's because I'm a bad player, but I find that without a very coordinated team, it can be hard to coordinate your push as well, which you need to be capturing that second point. And potentially, maybe a case of just like Eichenwald with these players that haven't played together so much, maybe they just don't have the coordination necessary to break those strongholds.
Yeah, especially probably on, I guess, especially for these assault maps compared to Eichenwald, where that last point, they're going to have that quick respawn, they're going to be able to set up a lot quicker. It's going to be a bit easier for the defensive team compared to the attacking team, where you have to have that strategy, the composure to push through understand what heroes you're going to need. And I don't know if switching off the Genji was the right choice there. He could have easily been someone who can deflect those Junkrat bombs right back at the Junkrat and the people surrounding him.
And not only that, the Genji's very good at taking down Mercies. And Cobble Guy was consistently staying alive with that resurrection available. He often didn't need to use it because not enough of his teammates died. But if his teammates had died, he wasn't being hunted at all, so he would have just been able to res them back up. So the Genji's strong in that respect as well. And switching off it, probably not the best idea. But now coming into to defense, we're going to see a Symmetra.
We are going to see the Symmetra. I was about to point that one out as he has gotten to the defensive spot and he wasn't just trolling. I guess it could work. I mean, I think on a map like Hanamura where they're more worried about trying to push through, and maybe they push through a little bit aggressively, these turrets can do a lot of damage, especially where they're not, I guess, suspected a little bit. And then you can get that teleporter super quick with just one really good right click and bit of turret damage, and then from there you can start to get that stronghold. The best way to stop the Symmetra is to take her down rather quick, rush through and get all the kills, wipe the team, and she's obviously useless. But if you're trying to just come in slowly, that's perfect for her. And what a way to start with a hook from Switch onto Silver. He's going to get away thanks to the barrier, but Cobbleguy, he's going to take the front of that force and goes down to Ted the Pleb. So good start here for the defensive team. And they have really going, I guess, the more normal route through the main door, not worrying about the window. Maybe if this is not going to work for them, could they employ the strategy that Silver's team used by going through the window? I mean, sorry, Switch's team.
That could be an option, but either way, they're going to have to face some turrets, because there are turrets set up by the window. The main thing is they just need to go in fast. They need to switch to a dive comp, maybe get off that Reinhardt, and then get a really fast
he's
one.
Charged in, though. He's going to get Quetzal pinned down. He's getting healed up, though. Oh, it's a double kill as USMC took down Ted the Blip. Silver got the kill on the Quetzal and Kurino as well, so the blue team are pushing through. They don't need no window, as Silver's looking for a teleporter, and the teleporter does go up. He's going to find it really quick. I don't think anyone's going to get it. Quetzal gets one spawn. There's another one that's Ted the Pleb, but they've got the point, and that's really all that matters. Plasma Puff will get on it and die immediately. So that's a really early first point. They got 6.5 minutes to get this second point now. Really strong start for Silver's team. I don't think we're going to see a tie this time.
No, probably not, because the attacking team does now have 4
and they're
ultimates
already onto
available.
the point. They're going to put the Graviton Search to keep them off of it as well. As Zan got a double kill out of that. It's going to be Switch. He has to pop the Roadhog ultimate. Battle Pants popping Transcendence on the point. They've already got 2 bits. If they win this team fight, it's all but over. And a massive ultimate from Ted the Pleb. He took down Zan. He got a triple kill. The Oceania coming out from Silver as well. I think he got 2 or 3 of them, but he isn't really going to be able to get them many of the kills because the rest of his team is dead. The revive comes out from Kurino. It was a good first push, very good first push, but not probably the push they would want, considering they wasted a lot of ultimates there and got. They did get 2 pips out of it on the meetup, but no more ultimates.
The one positive thing is they actually managed to bait out the Mercy res. I don't know why that was used after the fight was already won, but Kurino no longer has that res, which you don't want that defensive team to have it. And in fact, the defensive team has 0 ultimates coming into this next fight.
And Silver's team pushing right up onto the stairs now as they bump. Head to play. Oh, it's a double kill from Amon. He's enforcing that Junkrat. He saw how it worked last round when they were trying to attack, especially from up the stairs. Ted the Pleb teleporting up, trying to get some damage onto Silver. Amarez getting around the back of him. Can he take him down? Oh, he's just walked straight past Battle Pants. He didn't even see him. He's in a really bad position and he dies. As he did take down Plonk Pop thanks to his obvious suicide bombs. But the red team, and it's going to be Switch's team, holding firm at least with 5 minutes to go at this stage. They're doing alright.
Yeah, well, getting those 2 blips so early makes a huge difference because now there's so much less pressure. All they have to do is take a third of that point. And that's not the biggest ask considering they have 5 minutes to do so. Zan's still with that Death Blossom, but there are now some defensive ultimates available, including that Riptire. We've seen that Riptire do a lot of work, so
you might want to pop that Riptire now if they've got any chances. The ultimate comes out from Switch. There comes the Riptire. Can he get anyone? Silver took that Quetzal really early. They don't have the revive actually at this moment. Plasma Puff is also really low. This Riptire, it's going a really far distance, and it's taking its time as Zan got a triple kill. Silver got a kill. That's the point. I am not sure why he went the absolute longest route with that Riptire when he should have gone straight onto the point. But they took it. So that is round 2. Silver's team will go 2-0 to start things off tonight.
Yeah, really, really nice little start. And you're right, it was potentially the Junkrat tire going off on a little bit of the scenic route, but there were a lot of ultimates available on both teams, and I think it was just a simple case of the offensive team using them better.
And I think whilst obviously it wasn't all about that Junkrat tire, you saw the ultimates on the point as well coming out from Zan and Silver. I mean, they quite rightly taken that point, but I guess you never know. If that Junkrat tire had gone straight for the point and got a double or triple kill, this game could be still going.
Yeah, it could be, especially if it had taken down the DPS players early in a fight, because then the attacking team would have left crippled with not enough damage. But instead, he went for the supports, and the supports popped their ultimates to stay alive.
Yes, indeed. Well, we have already got word of a couple of other games finishing up, so we should be able to jump into round 3 shortly. I do believe Gino might be joining me in a second. Yep, he's